Good morning. We're out in the garden on this wonderful morning after a nice rainstorm. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here in September. So our pepper plants, we still have a few peppers, but they've been struggling. So I'm really thinking about looking at what we got here. Again, we got a couple little peppers still on there. I may keep a couple plants, but like my jalapeno, something's been really eating on it. So, and they're just not doing much. I got a couple little jalapenos on there. Probably pick them. And there's still a few there, but something's been eating it like crazy. It may be about time for it to go. I got a couple plants there, a couple little peppers. That plant over there is looking pretty rough, so some of the pepper plants may be time to come out. We've had a little cooler weather, so they have spruced up a little, but I'm really thinking it's about time for some fall planting in this area. Next up, we still have our okra. It's growing. A lot of leaves have been turning yellow. Not exactly sure why, if it's heat or what, but we still have some growing, and it's growing tall enough. It's above our little shade cloth netting. As you can see, we still have some flowers. It's a little cloudy today, so not as many blooms popping out, but we still have some growing. Looking a little worse for wear, but you know, we're getting close to the end of the season, and so here's a piece I need to get rid of because it's moldy or something. I'm not sure there. I need to take care of it. Oh, there's a really big piece I need to harvest this morning. We'll come back and do that. We had quite a bit of wind last night, so I can tell some of the weaker things got knocked over. My little transplanted seedlings from the trees. Two of them are doing nice. One of them's kind of, half and half, and then the others are trying to die off. I'm not quite sure on that. The first time I'm doing trees from the front yard, just from the acorns that were put down for the acorns that dropped last fall, come up this spring. And we're trying to grow those so that we can have more trees. That should we be able to move out in the country one day, we have some trees that we can do. So I told you we had some wind last night. This tomato plant should not look like this. So yes, I'm gonna have to get out here and prop it up, but we'll get that taken care of shortly. And that's my volunteer one. Blooms on it right there. So we'll see how it's doing. Tomatoes, it's been warm and they just haven't done super great. So we'll keep an eye out. So these are what were my green beans that still didn't do anything. So this whole area right here, I'm gonna take up today. This whole area we're gonna put this empty space, put some winter crops. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna lay things out just yet, but we will talk about that shortly after I get that done. So here we are with my massive jungle of tomato plants. There again, I need to trim some up. I need to make sure we don't have any worms and caterpillars in there. I haven't seen too much biting. There's a volunteer plant that is staked up here. When I take this cage down, I'll have to put something up to stake that to see if it if it'll grow or do anything. Yes, a little congested this morning. Again, just the jungle of tomato. But we do have a few tomatoes in here. We've got some little green tomatoes there. We do have blooms. There are blooms coming in. So I think with this cooler weather, that's a little more damp, that we've gotten some rain, I really think the tomatoes are probably going to start coming on. So I mean, there's lots of blooms in there. It's just it's been a little warm. Thinking we had another bigger tomato. Yeah, there's another, not a big one, but it's a cherry one. There's a green one already budded out there. So that is the massive jungle of tomato plants. We're trying to keep them alive because, again, you can grow something during the summer, you can get a few, but once it gets super hot, they just don't like to do a whole lot. And if I can keep them alive, I have had luck in the past in the fall when it gets a little cooler for plants to start blooming and coming on. So that's what we're hoping for, to have some fall tomatoes. Last year I think we still had some cherry tomatoes coming in and around Thanksgiving time. So we're gonna see what we can do. Then we come over here. Our rosemary's doing very nicely. Our parsley, I need to trim it back a little. Again, we got the rain, the wind, I can tell it beat it up a little bit, but remember I cut all this back really far back and it's coming back, which is great. So I mean, it was way up here. We cut it, we dried a bunch of it, and now it's growing back. So greatness. I have this space here. A tomato did not grow in that tomato cage. I'm thinking about well, I probably can't remove it because it's tomatoes are attached there, but I am thinking about adding in this general area, and then over on the other side of the basil, a little bit, maybe some dill or cilantro, just some more herbs. Has some herbs in this general area. Then we have our beautiful basil. It's still huge. Need to come out here and pick some of it off. Keep it going. I've been once a week picking. You can see some of it's getting, I don't know if it's just from the heat or wet or what. Been coming out here picking stuff every couple days. I'm out here just picking the flowers off to keep it growing, and then picking once a week, putting it on the little cookie sheet I have on some parchment paper in the house and letting it dry for about a week. And then I have dried basil ready to roll. And I've also picked some and given to some coworkers. They like fresh basil. This one little plant has done us very well. I'm very pleased with it. This is the truth about backyard gardening. Look how messy. So, life has been busy, so you can see I got things mowed, but I've not weed eated, so things here have to be weed eated, and I just haven't had the time to, so that's what that looks like. But, not sure what we want to do with this just yet. That's where our flowers were. Some flowers, they're obviously, you see they're dead. Not sure what I want to do. I think I'm going to leave this bed for garlic. We'll do that later in the fall. And then this one, I think this is where I'm putting my carrots. So I got some work to do on that today to get the carrots done. And our pretty zinnias. They're still looking very pretty. And it's time to pick some of our compost peppers. Need to pick those. So this is what the garden looks like then early September. I'm going to do a little work today and we'll see what we can get done and show you what we did.